The Bible, a book revered by billions, a source of solace and guidance for millennia. But what if I told you that one of its most famous chapters almost didn't make it into the Holy Scripture? John chapter 8, the story of the woman caught in adultery, has a history as captivating as the narrative itself. This chapter, often celebrated for its message of forgiveness, was actually a source of immense controversy in the early church. Its place within the Bible was hotly debated for centuries. The reason its presence in some of the earliest biblical manuscripts is curiously absent. Like a ghost from the past, the story seemed to materialize out of thin air, leaving scholars perplexed and believers questioning its authenticity. Was it a later addition, a pious fabrication meant to bolster Jesus' image, or was it a genuine part of John's Gospel, omitted by accident or design? The mystery of John chapter 8 takes us deep into the heart of biblical scholarship, forcing us to confront the complexities of canon formation and the human hands that shaped the Holy Scriptures. It's a tale of ancient debates, missing manuscripts, and theological disputes that continue to resonate even today. The controversy surrounding John 8 began in the early centuries of Christianity. Even then, long before the printing press and mass distribution of the Bible, questions arose about this chapter's rightful place within the Gospel of John. Early church fathers, the theological giants of their time, were divided on the issue. Some, like Augustine, argued passionately for the chapter's inclusion. They saw the story of the adulterous woman as a powerful testament to Jesus' compassion and his radical message of forgiveness. To them, removing it would be tantamount to silencing a crucial aspect of Christ's teachings. Others, however, voiced their concerns. They pointed to its absence in some of the oldest biblical manuscripts as evidence that it might not be an original part of John's Gospel. These dissenting voices wondered if the story was a later addition, perhaps a well-intentioned but ultimately inaccurate interpolation. These early debates highlight the fluidity of the biblical canon in Christianity's formative years. The process of assembling the scriptures was far from straightforward, a complex tapestry woven from theological disputes, textual analysis, and evolving interpretations. Adding fuel to the fire of controversy was the curious case of the missing manuscripts. Early copies of the Gospel of John, some dating back to the 3rd and 4th centuries, did not contain the story of the adulterous woman. These manuscripts, often fragmentary and written on papyrus, formed a crucial part of the puzzle that scholars had to piece together. The absence of John chapter 8 in these early texts raised a red flag. Was it a sign that the story was a later addition, perhaps inserted into the Gospel sometime in the 4th or 5th century? The lack of consensus among early church fathers only deepened the mystery. However, other manuscripts, particularly those dating from the 5th century onwards, did include the chapter. This discrepancy in the textual evidence created a conundrum. Which version was closer to the original? Was the story an integral part of John's Gospel that was omitted in some early copies? Or was it a later interpolation, carefully woven into the narrative at a later date? The manuscript evidence, while tantalizing, offered no easy answers. It was a puzzle with missing pieces, each fragment adding to the intrigue, but failing to provide a definitive solution. Section 4. A story of mercy and judgment. Despite the questions surrounding its origins, John chapter 8 contains a powerful message that has captivated readers for centuries. The story of the adulterous woman brought before Jesus is a masterclass in storytelling, a poignant exploration of themes like sin, forgiveness, and hypocrisy. The woman, caught in the act and dragged before Jesus by the Pharisees, becomes a pawn in their game of religious and political maneuvering. They hope to trap Jesus, forcing him to choose between upholding the Mosaic law, which demanded stoning for adultery, or showing mercy, thereby undermining his own authority. Jesus' response, however, is both unexpected and profound. "Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her," he says, his words cutting through the Pharisees' hypocrisy. One by one, they melt away, their own consciences pricking them. The story's climax comes with Jesus' words to the woman, "Neither do I condemn you, go, and from now on sin no more." In this simple yet profound statement, Jesus offers forgiveness without condoning sin. He challenges the rigid legalism of the Pharisees, replacing it with a radical message of grace and compassion. Section 5. echoes in modernity the enduring relevance of John 8. The story of the adulterous woman, though set in a time and place far removed from our own, continues to resonate deeply with modern readers. Its themes of hypocrisy, judgment, and forgiveness are as relevant today as they were 2,000 years ago. In a world often quick to judge and condemn, the chapter serves as a timely reminder of the importance of compassion and empathy. It challenges us to examine our own biases and prejudices, urging us to show the same grace and understanding that Jesus extended to the adulterous woman. Furthermore, the story speaks to the ongoing debate surrounding law and grace, a tension that lies at the heart of many contemporary ethical and religious discussions. How do we balance the demands of justice with the need for compassion? Can we condemn the sin without condemning the sinner? John chapter 8, despite its controversial past, offers no easy answers. Instead, it invites us to engage in a deeper, more nuanced conversation about some of life's most challenging questions. It reminds us that the journey of faith is often messy, complex, and fraught with uncertainty. Section 6 of Chapter's Legacy, Questions of Authenticity and Impact. The story of John chapter 8 is a testament to the dynamic nature of religious texts. It's a story about the challenges of piecing together historical fragments, the complexities of textual analysis, and the enduring power of narratives. The debate surrounding its authenticity, far from diminishing its impact, has only served to amplify it, sparking centuries of discussion and reflection. But the questions linger. Should John chapter 8 be considered a genuine part of the gospel? Does its possible later inclusion diminish its message, or does its power lie in its ability to transcend time, speaking to generations of readers despite its murky origins? What to believe?